for me, it was just like, I've lost before.
Right.
I started wrestling in high school, and I lost a lot.
Yeah.
Until I started winning. And then I went to college wrestling, and I lost.
Yeah.
Until I did win.
Right.
And I started fighting, and I lost and started winning. And so it's one thing, I know how to go back to work and come back. I don't feel that, oh, just because I don't have the belt right now, it's nothing. Even when I was, you know, when I was trying to fight these guys for that title, and these guys were telling me, no, we don't want to fight you, we don't want to fight you, you're not, you know, this, you don't deserve it. I knew I was the best. Leon and I know who the best welterweight in the world is.
I know he's tough, I know he's good, and I'm not deluded. I know he's a good fighter, but I truly believe that I am better, and I just can't see how he comes over and beat me in London.
You've seen a lot of champions, you know, like everyone's thinking like, oh, nobody can beat me, you know, like because he defends so many times. Now I'm like unbeatable, like that kind of things, and somebody knock you out, and like, you know, you're human as well. When Leon comes, he shot his head and dropped that guy. I don't think so. I'll never be the same guy again.
The biggest issue for Kamaru Usman is coming into this fight. This is the first time he's coming in, not only having lost a fight, but being knocked out, not being the champion, not being the pound for pound, not being in his home country or surrounded by the fans that all love him and cheer for him. No, he's going to be the bad guy. He's coming into this one, so it's a great fight.
I've never lost in the UK, amateur or pro, you know, so I am excited. I love fighting for my friends and my family, and yeah, I think it's just be a total different fight. So I think if you're going in there thinking it's going to be the same fight, you think for a rude awakening, you know?
Yeah, I've been fiending to go to England, you know, like that's I feel like England is my second home. There's so, you know, England is half Africa, you know, people don't know that, but it's half Africa. So, you know, it's time to go over there and entertain my English people, and what better story? I mean, like, you couldn't write this any better. You couldn't write this any better.
There's a lot of questions for me now in regards to the fight, because you develop a bit of an invincibility factor to you when you did what Kamaru Usman did to start his UFC career, win the championship, be on the run that tied Anderson Silva as the longest undefeated streak to start a UFC career in history. But then when you get put out like that.
No, I mean, this is a crazy game and anything could happen. Literally anything could happen. We've been doing this our whole life. You know, since day one. Leon's probably been doing the same thing we've been doing, working towards something. And I think the trilogy is going to be great.
I was born with nothing, you know. We had to claw our way up and immigrate to the UK to make a better life for ourselves. And I was able to change my life by getting in the UFC. You know, my mum signed me up to an MMA gym at the age of 17 to keep me out of trouble, and I used it to change our family's future. You know, which is, I am proud of myself. I'm proud of everything I've achieved, and it's amazing.
Yeah, talk about somebody that's had nothing but bad luck. And one of the things that we were talking about is that kid is he accepted the Hamzat fight 2 or 3 times, who was unranked. He's legit, man. That kid is legit and was down to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. He just had a really great string of bad luck.
The odds will still put Kamaru Usman as the guy that's supposed to walk out of the octagon as the champion. And if you watch, there are 24 minutes and 20 seconds of the fight. You feel like Usman was the better fighter, but they say you fight the entire time. And Rocky Edwards showed that as long as there's time on the clock, you can get the job done. And the confidence that comes with that cannot be understated.
That's a tricky one, because who I want to win, I want Kamaru to win. Who do I think is going to win? I don't know. I've been talking to the coach with the guys. They say, oh, Kamaru for sure. But I think that, I said that before a couple of times, the altitude messed with Leon, I think, because he looked great on the first round, and then he kind of slowed it down in the second round.
Was the elevation to play a part in the way that Leon Edwards won the fight? Or was it a hindrance to the champion? Because it seemed as though Edwards slowed down in the middle of the fight. Remember how quickly he started? There is no elevation in England, in London.
If the trilogy, I think that, I mean, we saw it in this fight. We saw what Kamaru did to him. We saw that Kamaru was on his way to victory. But it's the fight game, and anything can happen in the fight game. One zig when you should have zagged, and you go to sleep. I think that for Leon Edwards, he's gonna have to mentally, go through the trenches right now in camp, because he broke in there. He showed it. He had his head down, wasn't looking at his coaches, and when the world sees it, it shows us something that you could be broken. So if I'm Kamaru, you're gonna go in there right away, take him down right away, do the same thing you did in there. And I think that he'll do that, but you just never know how somebody comes back from a knockout, because you don't know how your brain's gonna react, you know how your body's gonna react, you don't know if it's gonna make you hesitate in there.
Like I said, I'm preparing for the best. I'm hoping that it comes back the same. I don't feel like gun shy or just be a worse fighter. I want him to be just as good as what everyone thinks he is, so I can go out there and beat him again.
What Leon did was perfect. I mean, it was the perfect high kick. You can't take a thing away from him. The guy's down at least 2 rounds, 3 rounds, going into the 5th. He's losing the fight. It's for the title. He shows him the left and hits him with a perfect high kick. I mean, you can't take anything away from that. That was the most consequential high kick of all time.
That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about this sport is that happens, but we forget what was actually taking place in that fight. It's just an added bonus, the added hunger to the return. So I'm just excited. I'm excited for what's next. I'm in a rare opportunity. I have a rare opportunity now to just inspire and motivate and show people that you can fall and get back up. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Like anything else in life, you pick yourself up, you regroup, and you come back and you show who you are through the toughest times. And for Usman, this is a minor setback for a major comeback. And if his performance before that was any indicator of what a trilogy would look like, if I'm Usman, I like my chances in the rematch. I just got to make sure I have 1 extra minute of focus and I win that fight.
That moment we sparred with Leon Edwards, I just say, hey, let's go with and coach say that moment, he have very good left high kick, be careful. Why he's a champion right now? Because he's a good striker, and that moment he come to AKA improve his wrestling skills.
Kamaru, Leon, that was epic. One of the most legendary comebacks of all time, especially because Kamaru was in the pound. I don't know, was the pound for pound best in the world. Yeah. That's what makes that so crazy. Right. If it would have been any other champion, it would have been crazy, but the fact that he was the pound for pound, breaking records. God, if I'm Leon, dude, I do not want to fight that dude again. No, I do not want to fight Kamaru.
I think it's like you said, everyone really puts their identity wrapped around being a champion. Yeah. And that's one thing, when I wanted to become a champion, I was working to be a champion. That's one thing I just mentally always kind of told myself that I never wanted to do is it's not about the belt for me. Yeah. It's the work that I put in each and every day to get there is what makes me a champion on the inside.
So we'll see how mentally strong is Kamaru Usman, and if he comes back and wins the title, I think he will add up to his legacy even more. So, but it's going to be a hell of a fight, a hell of a challenge.
Leon Edwards hasn't lost for a very long time. Last person to beat him is Kamaru Usman. But then after the fight, the second fight, you see that guy laying on his back in the middle of the octagon. How much confidence does that give Leon Rocky Edwards? How good does he feel then heading into his first title defense? Being in London, being the fan favorite, being the guy that everybody show up to see, and carrying that confidence of being the champion.
I'm going in there, like I said, totally different. Edwards is a focused, confident Leon Edwards, and yeah, I'm going in there for another headshot again. Bang, dead, done.